Good morning and welcome to the Tom Fennell Show, presented by Sports News for You. Here we cover all of the major stories. First, we're going to start off in Brazil yesterday. Had some very exciting matches. Uruguay beat Italy 1-0. Croatia and England played to a draw at 0. Greece beat the Ivory Coast 2-1. And Colombia beat Japan 4-1. Now, biggest story, Luis Suarez and his little biting issue. You see this happen when you take your kids out and you go play kick around ball when they're about 4. And even that doesn't happen all that often. You're at a professional stage. You're in the World Cup. Seriously? You are representing your country. That's childish behavior. FIFA's working on punishment. They can't really disagree. They can't really agree. They're disagreeing a lot on what action should be taken. But we'll see what happens in the coming days. Tomorrow at noon, it's the U.S. and Germany. All week we've heard speculations of how this game is going to go. We've heard, they're really trying to play for a draw. We've heard, they're going to go at it till probably about the 80th minute, and then they're going to back off. How is the U.S. going to attack Germany? Frankly, I would like to see them play for the win. I think that there's enough talent on the U.S. team to beat the German team. It's going to be tough, but I think eventually they should be able to carry out and get a win. We'll see what happens there. We'll have more coverage on that tomorrow. Next, heading to England, the British Open, Tiger Woods, feeling a lot better. He plans to play in the British Open. After missing most of the season so far, he's jumped back on the tour. He said he's feeling a whole lot better, and he's excited to get this start in. Now, also in England, at Wimbledon, Sharapova and Rafael Nadal both advanced. Both of those won the French Open, Sharapova winning the women's, and Nadal winning the men's. Now, huge news yesterday, a lot of news from the NBA. So first we're going to start out with kind of a low-lying story. The Kings are looking to trade for the Pistons' Josh Smith. The Kings have to sign Rudy Gay this offseason, and I think Josh Smith could be a very nice addition. They didn't look awful last year. They looked a little bit better. Maybe if they add Josh Smith, maybe that can help boost this team and give them a winning season, give them a little bit of hope there in Sacramento. So we'll see what happens there. Cavs, man, their organization is just absolutely torn apart. Who do you take, Wiggins or Parker? Now, there's also been talk about a possible trade. The Boston Celtics possibly trading Rajon Rondo for the first pick. I don't see the Cavs doing that, but the front office wants Parker. The rest of the team, the rest of the organization wants Wiggins. It's kind of hard for you to choose, and of course, the Cavs have been in the running for LeBron James. That's another huge story that came out yesterday. Where's LeBron James going to go? He opted out of his contract, but it seems like everybody kind of forgot that Pat Riley really needed him to opt out. LeBron needed to opt out so they can restructure his deal And so they have the potential to bring in other stars. The ESPN posted a chart of the possible places he could go and how much money he would be making. If he stays with the Heat, guaranteed salary $2 million. Goes to the Cavaliers, guaranteed $36.2 million. Even the Knicks, $66.7 million. The Nets, $88.4 million. The Rockets, $57 million. Now, obviously you're looking at the Nets and saying $88.4 million plus his endorsement deals. He's going to be making easily $100 million. But then you've got to look at what would fit him best. Right now, the Heat, they're in, I don't really want to say a rebuilding year, but they're in a restructuring year. Ray Allen said that he wants to return. He wants to play another season. Dwayne Wade looking at more surgeries. Is he worth that much money? Does this take, Carmelo Anthony? Does this give him another option possibly? If LeBron leaves, that means Carmelo Anthony probably won't want to go to Miami. Carmelo probably wouldn't want to go to Miami even if they did have LeBron. But you're looking at guys. LeBron, I think, if he goes to Cleveland, he's going to have Kyrie Irving, who's a pretty big star in himself. But what I saw from the Heat was LeBron James having to do a lot himself. In San Antonio, it looked like the Heat could just... It was all LeBron. He was the only one taking shots. He was the only one making shots. I think that's the problem with being as good as he is. You can't, as a team, if you are second string on the bench and you come out and you play with LeBron, you're not going to be taking up shots because one, he probably wants the ball, and two, he can make shots. So, you can just go back, play defense, rest up on offense, and then go play defense and let LeBron do everything. Well, then it just becomes a situation when he was in Cleveland again. It was all him. He was it. It seems like when you have such a great player, everybody thinks that they can slack off just a little bit and get away with it. But we saw what happened in San Antonio. You can't get away with it. You got to have guys that are not, that respect LeBron James, but also that respect themselves, and they're going to take shots, and they're going to take chances, and they're going to move the ball, and they're just not going to rely on LeBron James to do it all. You look at the teams that he could be going to. We mentioned the Nets. That would be a great option. If they don't re-sign Paul Pierce, then he goes in there. He's got Darren Williams, Andre Blatch. He's got amazing talent around him, and they're not afraid to take shots because you saw what Paul Pierce did. He came in and he scores what? He averaged probably 10 points a game. We took a star from Boston who was averaging 30 points a game. Then you put him in Brooklyn, he's averaging 10, and they had a great season. It wasn't great starting at first, chemistry, injuries, but once they got on course, Paul Pierce was able to score. Darren Williams was able to score. Sean Livingston even came in and he was able to score. Karolinko was able to score. They had guys, able to score and work the ball, and they're not afraid to give it up to somebody that's better. You know, they didn't slack off. They were going to go out there, they were going to hit their shots, and then they were going to get back and play defense. LeBron and Carmelo definitely the headliners of this free agency, and really, there's a lot of guys out there that you look at and they can just make other teams, there's plenty of other stars that can go out there and make your team better. Plenty. We look at the Philadelphia 76ers. They have buku money. I mean, they can go out there and if they wanted to, they could make an honest run at LeBron James just offering him extreme money. They could do it. I'm looking for them to make some pretty big moves. I think that they can do it. I think they can pull it together. I really like Carter Williams. He had a great season, a wonderful rookie season. He was able to lead the team. They don't really have a whole lot. Jason Richards is unrestricted. So that's pretty much it. Thaddeus Young is coming up next year, but that shouldn't take a whole lot out of him. So really, there's a whole lot of other guys. You look from New York, Andrea Bargnani, he can make your team better. If you're Philadelphia, Kenyon Martin, he's definitely a strong player. Cole Aldrich, he's a very strong player. Amari Stoudemire, he's a great player. So the 76ers, I think, are also pretty... Now, we saw yesterday the LA Lakers. They're even in the running for LeBron James. Pau Gasol planning on returning. He's got a few offers from other teams, but nothing too spectacular. Let me find them here real quick. Here they are. This year is kind of a dump year for them. Probably want to get back Jody Meeks. Nick Young has already said no. Swaggy P, whatever his name is. Xavier Henry, he's up. Jordan Farmar, he's a ball handler, he's up. You got restricted Ryan Kelly. He was definitely a big part of this team. He came in and, he was playing a starting role at times. And he did a nice job, so that should be a big sign for them. Next year for the Lakers, Steve Nash is going to be up. So you look at it, and LeBron, this could be a place that LeBron would go. He's going to have a lot of control. He's got guys that can play. He's going to have really good role players, and he's got a big man. And with Steve Nash there, he's got a really good point guard. So then you could spread the floor, and you're almost in a situation that Melo would be in Houston. Now, Houston has just become a hot spot. Ever since Dwight Howard went there, it has become a hot spot for guys to want to go to Houston. Now, LeBron James or Carmelo Anthony. One of the two, the Rockets, I think will probably get. Same goes for Carmelo as LeBron. You have James Harden on one side, LeBron on the other side, Dwight Howard in the middle. Harden, then Carmelo, and then Howard in the middle. It's right now, the way that things are looking, the Rockets are going to be a good team next year if they can just land one of these players. Clippers, they're in the running for LeBron. They're looking to possibly make a trade, although Doc Rivers did reassure us that Blake Griffin is untouchable. They don't want to get rid of Blake Griffin. He's definitely had a huge impact. They really only have a couple of guys going in unrestricted free agency. Hedo Turkoglu, Darren Collison, Danny Granger. But that's just about it. So, definitely a lot of news from the NBA. Tomorrow we'll probably talk a little bit more Wimbledon, a little British Open, and some more World Cup. Thank you for listening. This has been the Tom Fennell Show, presented by Sports News for You. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.